Hello, this is Greg Allison from Galactic Greg's coming to you tonight on Halloween with a space spooky story. Blended a little bit of legitimacy, maybe just a little bit, by U.S. government investigations. And this is the phenomenology that we in the public fondly refer to as unidentified flying objects, or as the government refers to them as unidentified aerial phenomenon. They just got to rename it to make it sound a little bit more credible. But so we've got two teams that are investigating this. The Department of Defense has been involved in this for a bit, and NASA's standing up a brand new team. NASA's standing up a 16-member team that's going to include astronaut Scott Kelly, former astronaut Scott Kelly, and a journalist Nadia, I hope I'm saying her name right, Drake. So it's going to be interesting where this is going. But now the Defense Department's kind of throwing dispersions all over this. They're saying, this stuff is, we solved it. We basically solved this whole thing. And it's, they're putting it all down to airborne clutter from weather balloons, which I used to fly a lot of this. I know a little bit about weather balloons and bigger balloons, which I used to fly rockets from. And surveillance by foreign powers. Now, I do believe some of it is surveillance by foreign powers, and Lord knows some of my balloon flights did generate UFO reports. Yeah, stuff I flew. So they're not all UFOs. Might be strange lights in the sky, but some of them are quite explainable, and I can vouch for that. Now, all that said, I don't know, some of our recovery crew to the people might look like aliens, but that's another story. So getting back to it here, if you look at some of those blinkety lights that were flying around some of the naval ships, some of the destroyers, maybe aircraft carriers, some of those did look like drones. I mean, they were just blinkety lights. They were flying in formation, and they really weren't booking out. They didn't go zing, zing. Not that I could tell in the video I was seeing. So, and by the strobe frequencies and things like that, yeah, I would kind of think that some of those were maybe even our own aircraft. And I think I joked about some of that in the video on a show from a buddy of mine, Rex Bear, with a leak project. I thought some of that was, and I even thought the little chick, the Tic Tacs, I thought that was highly suspicious. I felt like, this is the best you got to show us. You can explain a lot of that stuff away through other angles and viewing discrepancies. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to explain some of that stuff away. But all that said, still, there's a lot of reports of this stuff going zing, 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 and poof. And, that's not in being silent with no wings. And there's been a lot of video that's highly interesting. And not saying what it is or is not. By the way, I've done a video, and I'll share a little bit, where I said, I don't think they're from up there. Where are they from? What are they? So, but I've got some videos where we're talking about the technology that you can build this stuff with. Yeah. So some of it may not be so mysterious after all, but maybe it is. So, guys, the thing is that UAVs, like our little unmanned drones, the little quadricopters, they're not going to be pulling this kind of stuff. So, what is all this stuff? What do we already got flying around in the air, and who does it belong to? Good questions, really good questions. So, but in any event, the government's been studying these 144 cases. Now, there's zillions of them out there, but they boiled it down into a subset of cases they thought merited investigation that was given to the government, reported straight to the government. It's usually by government sources, like pilots and things like that, maybe people in the DOD. But 144 cases that showed up between the year 2004 and 2021. That's what they're looking at. So, like I said, the NASA has set up their team. It's got, once again, the astronaut Scott Kelly and Nadia, I'm not sure she says her name, Drake. She's a space journalist. So I'm going to show you a picture here in a minute. This one guy, there's this one guy by the name of Nick Pope, supposedly a defense analyst, a defense expert for the British, who claims, and you got a lot of these so-called defense experts, but anyway, this guy claims a Roswell crash conspiracy is real, and UFO whistleblowers are being silenced by the Pentagon. Hey, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. So it was a curious reporting, right? Of the Army report. Oh, we got a UFO. We got a crash UFO, and then they backed it up real fast. So that's what got them in all kind of trouble. Now, I didn't know the guy who was the chief engineer of Aerostar, which previously was Raven, and Windsor before that company built these ginormous balloons, not beyond weather balloons, the ones you put heavy payloads on and fly them up to the atmosphere, which I've done this to fly my rockets on. I've used their products. I had a chief engineer out at sea with me launching some of this stuff. Great guy. But he said, no, all this stuff was crash dummies. And he said it was, radar. I did see pictures of radar reflectors that would fly on balloons, some of the photos. Does that mean that was what was recovered? I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't vouch one way or the other. Highly curious, though, right? Did you get all kind of claims and counterclaims? But what we're going to do here, we're going to go look at some of this stuff. We're going to look at the sun, which is kind of, well, yeah, this article came out in the sun. You know how the sun is. It's kind of like National Enquirer. Maybe it's a step above. So let's do a couple of screen shares just for fun and look at the sun. Not the one in the sky. The one that you might look at and go, me, oh my, what in the world is this stuff? All right, the U.S. sun. Yeah, so this guy, and standing next to his buddies here, and in a place they all frequent so much in the center of the Pentagon. It's got to be part of it, right? Even though it says he is an expert for the British. So why don't they show the Pentagon here? Oh, this is the sun. What can you say? So I don't know. I wouldn't put a lot of credibility with that story. Maybe he's on to something, but I don't know. Again, the sun. Holy smoke. But hey, this is Halloween, so this was a good thing to show. Got spooked. Bombshell. Classified report says half of the sightings can't be explained amid fears of some alien craft. Isn't that funny? That's kind of some fears of alien craft. Yeah. So, and in one article actually said, yeah, this may not be UFOs. It may be something to be afraid of. It might actually be foreign powers. I think I'd be a little more concerned if it was UFOs than foreign powers, because they're gonna have a little more power than some other Yahoo sitting, on another continent, across a pond somewhere. Of course, I don't know. Humans are the most dangerous animals we know of. And right now, the only life that we can prove exists is right here. So, all right, guys. Well, and speaking of that, here's some of the videos from my channel, Galactic Gregs. Ding, 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 ding. And I just put on videos. And if you search down, scroll down, what you're going to find is two very interesting videos here. This is anti-gravity research. I originally had this posted in two parts, and you may want to check this out. And this is a room full of NASA engineers and a few other engineers and scientists. This whole auditorium, this auditorium at the library in Huntsville, Alabama, is full of rocket scientists, NASA engineers, propulsion people. I mean, the advanced propulsion people, the ones who are doing the advanced work, cutting edge stuff. And they were being briefed with a summary of various anti-gravity projects and technologies that people have tried. And nobody giggled the whole time. It was all taken seriously. And there was a lot of really good technical discussion back and forth. Was it this? Was it that? So yeah, I think you might enjoy that video. I'll put a link up in a little bit. And I got this other video I did. It says UFOs not from space. Of course, I got a question mark in there, but I think there's something to be said for that perspective. We just don't know, guys, what these things are, where they're from. Maybe there are some China, just all Chinese UAVs, but they go back. They go way back. At least to World War II. I think it's called the Foo Fighters, whatever that was, and the Battle of LA, whatever that was about, huh? Maybe that was a weather balloon that just took a lot of artillery shells and wouldn't deflate. I don't know, guys. So let's look at a couple other things here. I said now we're getting into interesting stuff for our Halloween occasion. Scientists believe that humans attempting to talk to aliens might be pointless. Well, there are some people over here who think they get a lot out of it. You know what? I think this guy's got a point, because these guys have been telling us that we were going to have a rendezvous with Nibiru is going to come flying around the sun any second. It's due. It's right there. It's just on the other side of the sun. It's going to fly around. And the aliens are telling us. They're telling us it's going to hit us any second now. And they've been saying that since they started back in 95. So what is that? 27 years that we're going to be wiped out any second, and we'll have pole shifts and all kind of stuff. So I don't know. Them aliens, I don't think we can trust them. So, so I think these guys got a point. Why it's pointless. Why talk to them? They lie. They scare you. They're fear mongers. Oh, guys. All right, guys, we got to have a little fun. It is Halloween. Give me a break, guys. Don't be too serious. We're having some fun here. I don't know, guys. There's a whole lot of mysteries going on about some of this stuff, though. So I'm going to stop the share for a second. Halo. So there you go. What is it? What in Sam Hill is going on, as Slim Pickens might say, as he's about to mount the bomb and go flying down, right? What in Sam Hill is going on? Guys, there's something that they're getting photographs of. People are seeing something. What is it? I mean, when you got people seeing something, it's on a radar, seen by pilots and people on the ground and other people all simultaneously. Probably with a balloon. And it could be. It could be. So what is it? What's happening, guys? But weather balloons don't move around at several Mach. No, they follow the wind. They flow with the wind. They don't go crosswise. They go with the wind, always with the wind. And any debris coming down from them is either dropping by gravity because it's got separated, or moving with the wind. And usually both if it's got a parachute. A lot of the stuff that drops in weather balloons has parachutes. And that's the plan. You hope it all does. That's what you're supposed to have. I know I've found a lot of these things, guys, with weather balloons. So, guys, I don't think there's anything to be immediately afraid of, unless, of course, it is foreign powers and they're getting an edge on us. Now, if we got some foreign powers that's got a technological lead on us, and they got something go zing, 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 I bet they might. Because several years ago, we had a program talking about various programs that people had, human beings looking at technology to do things that we would almost describe as being anti-gravity. Woo, 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 woo. Of course, if technology like that can exist and can be derived and built rather forthright with, that's not a good word, maybe then somebody, if they're out there somewhere else, could come here. But, go see my video where I talk about it. I think they're not from outer space, and I kind of shoot that down some. So what are they? Where are they from? Maybe nowhere. Right now, the only life we can absolutely prove exists is right here, life from Earth. I find the topic of panspermia very fascinating. I think it just how fast life came to exist on Earth, on the rocks, as soon as they thought out the complexities of life. I don't see how that's possible. To be blunt, I don't see how that's possible. But I covered that in other videos. I'm not going to beat that horse here. So bottom line is, this is kind of a spooky story that, we may be getting spooked by foreign powers or by stuff from other dimensions or other worlds. What is it? Maybe not above. Or wild imaginations or something solid. It might knock you in the noggin. Knock you in the noggin at night. Oh, yeah, that's spooky. So a lot of weird stuff here, guys. So just tell me what you think below. I'm not taking sides in this video. I'm just throwing out there the fact that the U.S. government is doing these investigations. They've testified to Congress, and they claim there's something out there and it's real, whatever it is, even if it is just balloon junk and foreign powers. It'll be interesting to see what the NASA team comes up with. Anyway, all right, folks. With that, I'm going to say thank you for watching, and have an awesome, not too scary, safe Halloween. Greg out.